What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and I've got some video footage that I think you're not going to want to miss, because what if I told you that right now the White House is working on a plan where they could essentially have Senator Joe Manchin get on board for the latest $3.5 trillion stimulus package, and at the same time also provide enough funding for 2 more stimulus checks, you guys. Now, if you want to see that, stick around, because this is your stimulus check update and your stimulus package update. Now, for those of you that follow me here on the channel, you already know that right now Congress is working away on the next infrastructure package that's got 2 parts to it. The first part is going to be $1 trillion for traditional infrastructure like you'd think, roads, bridges, highways, things like that. And the second portion has got a new part to it that they're calling human infrastructure. Essentially, it's going to be the anti-poverty plan, which is going to be money for people. It's going to be the next stimulus package of $3.5 trillion, the largest that we have seen so far. Now, you guys, right now they're working away on that, and they're trying to use a process known as reconciliation, which is just a simple majority vote in all chambers of Congress, in the House, the Senate, and then the President signs it into law. Now, they're doing this because Republicans said they're not going to support any more spending or debt being added, so no more stimulus. But Democrats want to see it go through, and they're using this process that they can use once a year known as reconciliation with the majority vote. But the thing is, the Senate right now is split 50-50, 50 Democrats, 50 Republicans. So in order for Democrats to pass this, they literally need every single Democratic senator on board, unified, to pass it through. And just one senator could throw and off and derail the entire thing. And right now, that one senator is none other than Senator Joe Manchin, who came out last week and said, you guys, $3.5 trillion is way too much money. We need to hit the pause button and just take a break. Well, over the weekend, those of you that follow me here on the channel know that President Joe Biden came out and said, no, Joe Manchin, we need you to get on board, and we're going to persuade you to do so. Well, you guys, here is how. I'm going to be sharing with you the video footage, and also I'm going to be sharing with you how it is that this plan could also provide 2 more stimulus checks. Take a look at these articles that are just coming out. Tax overhaul, you guys. There it is. I was going to wait till the video footage, but I'm going to reveal it now. Taxes. Tax overhaul could raise money for 2 more stimulus checks. Take a look at this. 2 new $1,400 stimulus checks. Congress has paved the way for them, you guys. So, you guys, we're going to be taking a look at this video footage as we're going to be hearing from a top White House advisor on the plans and how they're planning to maneuver through this stimulus package of $3.5 trillion and could potentially raise enough money for more checks, you guys. So we're going to dive right in and get you caught up on the latest as of today, September 7th, 2021. But before we do, if you could do me a quick favor, just takes a second if you like and appreciate these updates, keeping you up to date on all this stuff. Don't forget to take a second to just smash that like button. I would appreciate it. Helps out the channel a ton. Lets the YouTube algorithm know you think I'm doing a good job, and in turn, they're going to continue to hopefully promote my videos and get the word out as to what's going on to people. Also, leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on all this, and be sure to share this out on social media platforms if you think it's going to help out other people. Also, if this is your first time here, don't forget, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, come join the viewing community. We like to call it the Ram Fam. And if you got any specific questions for me, be sure to shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3, you guys. But with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right in. I'm going to get you caught up on the latest as to what's going on right now with Congress, with the stimulus package, potential stimulus checks, taxes, and Senator Joe Manchin. All right, you guys, so first up, let's take a look at this video footage of this MSNBC News report that came out with the top White House advisor, Cedric Richmond, who's going to be explaining to us the plan forward and also how this is going to be setting up the stage for potential funding for more stimulus checks. So you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in.
This emphasizes the importance of our infrastructure bill and our Build Back Better bill, which would address climate change in a very consequential way.
So then, Cedric, so then here's the issue, though. How are you going to get this? How are you going to get both those bills passed, especially the $3.5 trillion bill passed, when Senator Joe Manchin, Democrat of West Virginia, has already laid a marker saying that the $3.5 trillion price tag is too high?
We're going to keep our head down and keep working and pushing and talking to our Democratic members of Congress and highlighting how important this is, how we're talking about saving human lives, how we're talking about investing in American people and making a tax code that's fairer. And so we would give tax breaks to families, and those corporations and the richest Americans would pay their fair share. So you're talking about a piece of legislation that invests so much in this country, creates tax breaks. It doesn't add 1 penny to our debt. It's paid for. And so that's the important part. And we're going to keep stressing that. And at the end of the day, I think that we're going to get this passed. And just like the American Rescue Plan that we passed at the beginning of our administration.
So one of the things that the infrastructure bills have tried to do is also, move the economy forward into a clean energy economy. But I'm bringing up the economy because there is some bad news for the economy and for the administration in terms of the job numbers that were released on Friday, with, I think it was about a little more than 200,000 jobs created when 700,000 were predicted. How concerned is the president that that the economic recovery that we thought was happening isn't happening as a result of COVID?
Well, the recovery is happening, and we've added more jobs in the first 7 months than any other administration in history. And if you look at the last 3 months average of jobs, it's right at 832,000 jobs that we've been able to add. What this shows is that it's going to be a steady road to recovery. This is not going to be an overnight recovery process. And so you see the economy moving ahead, but that's also why we have a reconciliation package and the infrastructure bill, because we know that we have to monitor and invest in this economy right now in order to keep it going. And so it's kind of what we expected in terms of it being a bumpy road, but we're going forward. And what this does is only highlight how important it is for the Biden economic plan to be passed by Congress and done in a swift manner.
So there you have it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Wow, a lot of good information in that segment right there, you guys. We heard them say that they're going to be pushing along with the infrastructure and stimulus. They're going to be emphasizing how much it's needed right now. And they're going to be getting Senator Joe Manchin on board by emphasizing that America needs this. They're going to be decreasing taxes for most Americans, but the wealthiest and corporations are going to be taxed on their fair share, they're saying, and so much so that it's actually going to be covering the entire price of this stimulus package of $3.5 trillion, adding nothing to the debt. Now, as you recall, the last stimulus packages that we had, it just added to the debt, added more and more and more, and they're saying that no, we're going to be taxing the wealthiest Americans and corporations, and it's going to be covering all of this, which essentially could get Senator Joe Manchin on board, as that's his main concern that he vocalized was inflation and debt, and they're saying that they've got it covered, you guys. So we're going to be seeing. Now, in addition to that, we also heard them acknowledge the fact that this is going to be a long-term recovery, that this is not just going to be happening overnight, that we need infrastructure and stimulus to help us carry through this economic recovery as the pandemic cases are increasing. And we also heard them say that there was only 235,000 new jobs added to the U.S. economy last month. And you guys, that is a dismal report. We get more new unemployment claim filings in a single week than we saw new jobs added to the U.S. economy last month, you guys. So they're saying, you know what? We're going to need this. We're acknowledging the fact that this is going to take a while, and we need to get this paid for so that way it's not adding debt to our nation's economy. And you guys, take a look at these articles. As I mentioned, 2 new $1,400 stimulus checks. Congress has paved the way for them, and it is through taxes. Jumping down to this article, it says, we recently saw the House of Representatives advance that $3.5 trillion budget plan that calls for more support for families, healthcare, education programs, campaigns to heal the climate, and increase taxes on the wealthiest and on corporations. Now, in fact, the hope is that it will raise the corporate tax rate to 28%, a move that, according to one tax expert, could bring an extra $800 million in taxes, the exact amount that it would cover for 2 new $1,400 stimulus checks, you guys. As you'll recall, that third stimulus check of $1,400 for individuals and for dependents, that came out to $400 billion for the entire nation. Now, keep in mind the fact, $800 billion, you guys, that is a lot of money. And if they do that, that still would leave around $2.4 trillion worth for stimulus, guys, which is still larger than the entire stimulus package that we last saw. So this is by far the largest stimulus package we have seen. And if Congress wanted to include something like stimulus checks that's actually going to be paid for, they could potentially do it, you guys. So that is the latest that we're hearing from the White House, President Joe Biden, his top advisors, on how it is that they're planning on passing this through, getting Manchin on board, and also funding it so it's fully paid for and even could provide stimulus checks if they'd like. Now, you guys, as more information rolls out, as you know, I'll keep you up to date here on the channel. And as always, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, smash the like button. Just takes a second. It helps me out a ton. Also, leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on all this. And if you think it's going to help out other people, be sure to share it out on social media platforms. Now, in addition to that, don't forget, if this is your first time here, don't leave without smashing the subscribe button, turning on that notification bell, coming and joining the Ram fam. I'll keep you up to date, the viewing community. And if you got any specific questions for me, be sure to shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3, guys. But with that being said, hope this reaches you well. I'll catch you in the next video. Remember, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday through Friday. Guaranteed uploads and also random uploads throughout the day as news breaks. But once again, hope this reaches you well. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.